Hello everyone and welcome to the review of the Toguard C200 dash camera. This is a very interesting unit as it's very cost effective, yet it comes in a very good bundle, and you get a lot of accessories and stuff, and it has a lot of functions, so this should be very interesting. So we get a very large manual here with plenty of instructions and guides, and even I think that some of the menu is explained here, and it's in several languages, so pretty good manual to start with. Then first thing we get that usually is sold separately on this type of dash camera is the hardware kit, and this is a hardware kit that supports parking mode. This is a battery saver, so the camera will remain powered on while you turn off the camera and will record if something happens to the car. But if you park for too long, this will turn off the camera when your battery is too low, so it will prevent over discharging your battery. Usually this thing will cost you something like $30 if you buy it separately. It's included with the camera, so that's pretty good. Then we get here another very useful thing. Those are clips with adhesive pad to hold on the wires while you hide them or fix them in your car. And you also get this very useful tool. This is actually a cheap tool that it's something like $0.0 to make, but it's included, so you don't have to search and buy this. And that's very useful when you try to hide the cable to route it around your dashboard and your interior trim. So pretty good idea to have this also included. Then we get the normal regular charger. So if you don't want parking mode, no problem, you get a regular USB power supply, so you can remove this. Maybe you have two cars and you want to take the camera to the other car, no problem, you have this one. So it will output 2 amps, 5 volts, nothing extraordinary. And look at that, it uses the old and faithful mini USB that doesn't break like the micro USB, which is kind of sensitive, and it's not the newer USB Type-C. Then here's the mounting adapter. So it's not a permanent fix on your windshield. It has a suction cup, and it's a mechanical suction cup with screwing for locking, and it has this fit here that slides into the camera and locks it into position, and you can pivot this. Pretty good. This is of course again nice if you want to move the camera around, so you don't have to stick it there for eternity. Then I told you that this is a good bundle. You get, besides the dash camera, which is not here on the table yet, you get the rear camera. So this is a dual camera system, and you get a rear camera which is also full HD, and it has this button here and you can adjust the angle. Sadly this one comes with adhesive pad fixing, so no suction cup there, but you get a spare double-sided tape if you want to remove this and put it on another car. Yet again, peel this off and fix it there. But you get a second camera, full HD. Okay, you also get this sticker, which is interesting and also dangerous. You can put this so you can scare away people that will try to mess with your car, but you are also going to draw attention that you have a dash camera and maybe someone wants to take it from your car, so use that at your own discretion. Alright, and finally the camera itself, which looks like this. So pretty nice design, overall similar with other cameras on the market. It has a very large screen on the rear. There you go. And it has micro SD card here. It's not included. I have added my own micro SD card for this video. This needs U3 micro SD cards. I also recommend you not to use this type of cards. Get high endurance cards for dash cameras. This is just for testing. And you have here buttons for setting up the camera and accessing the menu. You have them labeled here. On the top you get a power button. You get the input for the second camera, power supply, and that's it. And now let's see the menu and how this camera works. So I'm going to insert the micro SD card back and I'm going to supply power to the camera. I'm also going to connect the rear camera and now I'm going to supply power. And let's see what happens. The camera should start automatically. Another thing about this uses a super capacitor. It doesn't have a rechargeable battery, so this is very safe in your car. No battery that can explode while you leave your car in full sunshine. So very good idea, and that's how the future of the dash camera looks like. So usually these type of cameras are a lot more expensive on a short notice. Okay, so rear camera works pretty good. Front camera works really nice, and let's see if I click on the menu just has locked this file. So if I press OK, I'm stopping the recording, and now the menu works. All right, and you have two menus here. You have one camera menu and one general menu. So let's go to general menu first, and I'm going to do one thing. I'm going to search for beep sound, which I absolutely don't like. So let's change that. And I'm going to press OK and turn this off. That's much more better. Right, so let's start with the menu. So we first get the resolution. We get 3 resolutions here, and it's a combo resolution for front camera and rear camera, and you have 3 options to choose from. Then you have the option to loop record that will erase the oldest file, replace it with the newest file, so your card space will be managed by the camera. You have the wide dynamic range. This will improve contrast between dark areas and overexposed areas. You have option for the shock sensor, which is set on medium. Then you have exposure compensation. You can finally adjust image brightness from here. You have option to disable or enable recording of audio, and also if you want to have date stamp. The camera doesn't have a GPS, so there's no GPS stamp on it. Then on the other part of the menu, you have options for date and time, auto power off, and this has a timer here. I wonder if I set auto power off to 1 minute and I remove power. That should be interesting because this has a capacitor, not a battery. This should turn off automatically very fast. Probably this is more for parking mode or something like that. The camera will record. That's to be tested. Or maybe it will turn off if it doesn't record anything. Then you have rear camera mirror. This will mirror the camera recording from the rear, because you can install this maybe this way, fit it somewhere down or upside down, so you need to reverse the image. That's pretty good idea to have that. The rear camera also has this button here, and this is image flip. It will rotate the image from left to right. You have screensaver, so this will turn off in 3 minutes now by default. You have the beep sound, the annoying beep sound. Languages, plenty of languages here to choose from. You have frequency, so the camera will not flicker in your area, and option to format the micro SD card. You have default settings, and here is my version of the camera, C200. Pretty new firmware here, but maybe there is a new one. I'm going to search for that later. Okay, so that's the menu. Let's see what else we have here. The mode button. What does the mode button do? We can take pictures with it, and it takes pictures pretty good. And you have playback option, because this also has a large screen, and then you go back to recording mode. The up button will change the cameras that are shown here. So you can reverse the rear camera with the front camera, or only have front camera, or only have rear camera, so you can choose the combination between them. Good. And the down button doesn't do, no, it does something. It will quickly enable or disable the microphone. And the OK button will start recording, will start the recording back again if you have turned it off. Then you have the power button. If I press this, of course, the camera will turn off even though it has power supply to it. But if you remove power, attach power, it will start on, or you can manually power it back on. And let's check also how the supercapacitor works. So the camera is on, is recording it using both cameras. So I'm going to remove power. So the camera will safely turn off without power and without battery. And when you plug this in, you start the car, it will turn back on and it will resume recording. So works as a regular camera, but it's not on after you turn off the engine. Here the hardwire kit comes in place, so this has several connectors here, and this works by having a constant power supply and a switched power supply. So when the when your engine is on, this will transmit to the camera that it should be recording back because it's on. Otherwise it supplies standby power for parking mode, and it comes with these piggyback fuses, so you can quickly install by removing a current fuse and putting this in. Although it's kind of strange to do it that way and not with an adapter, because I don't see any kind of label on this fuse, and I don't want to actually replace a car fuse with another rating that it's on my car. That could potentially lead to problems with your electrics, so you should use caution with that. Otherwise you can simply remove the plugs here and use your own piggyback connectors with your own fuse. You can find them online very easy. This is more expensive than the present connector. So it's now time to install this on the car and take some footage with it and see how the image quality looks like. And now you have also seen the footage. You see how the recording looks like, the differences between the three main resolution that the front camera supports. This camera uses a very high quality main image sensor. It's a Sony IMX335, but here is the catch. This sensor is very good. It's from the Starvis series. This has a very good dynamic range. It has built-in dynamic range, also high dynamic range option. It's very good in low light and high contrast, but it's actually a 2.5K resolution sensor. It's not a fully 4K sensor. So this camera is labeled and sold as up to 4K resolution camera. Actually, it's a native 2.5 camera, and it has upscale technology to 4K because 4K sells better than 2.5K. So I hope that you have liked this review. Be sure to follow my next uploads, and until then, see you and bye bye.